Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, today I am wrapping up my husband's side. He is at work. He's been working on my side of the closet. So today while he was gone, I wanted to try to get his side done and kind of just get things going so we can finish up in this closet. So this closet kit is from Closetmaid and I did get it from Home Depot. And the things that you're gonna need are a pencil, a hammer, a screwdriver, both flat and star, a level. You will need a drill, rubber mallet, and a level. Want to take off all your pieces, kind of get familiar with them, look at the steps, look at all the little pieces so you are familiar with what you're doing so you can have it in your head, because if not it will take longer than it should. So the first step is to push these 4 cam locks into each bottom shelf. So these cam locks, what they are is they're pretty much locks. When you go to put the post, what they're gonna do is they're gonna lock. The nice thing about these little locks is that they have an arrow, and that arrow you want to make sure that it's pointing out to where you see the hole, if that makes any sense. Again, you'll want to look at your step manual. This video is for reference so you can see how I did it, but again there is like a little arrow and it's super easy and it's pointing to the hole. So the second step is installing your 4 cam posts into each top shelf. So what I'm doing here is I'm just tightening them up so that I can get ready for step 3. So for step 3, you want to push your 2 cam locks into each side panel, and if you're looking at the reference manual that came with it, you want to make sure that your unfinished edges are facing each other. So they should be facing each other, and the top ones are the ones that you're going to put, so which is the large hole at the top. That's the one that you're going to do, and you're also going to do that for all 4 of them. So now that you've done that correctly, step 3, you've put in all your cam locks in the correct way. Make sure you're going back to your book and looking. You can go on to step 4. And now that is installing your 2 cam posts into each side panel. So again, make sure that you are putting the unfinished edges, stand them up, and then counting from the bottom. Or I mean, I did this on my lap. I'm kind of being lazy a little bit, but so from the bottom you want to count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and you will literally want to make sure you're pointing to them and counting them, because the worst thing that you can do is mistakenly screw them onto the 7th or the 9th one, and then you'll have to take it out. And because when you do screw the post in, it does kind of widen the melamine a little bit. It's not going to look good. So make sure you get it right the first time you're going up, like I said, on the 8th hole, and then you will want to screw each cam post into the 8th hole from the bottom. And for this, you'll want to use your screwdriver with a star head. So once you are done with step 4, you've inserted all your posts in each of the sides, you can go on to step 5, and that you'll want to look for your bottom nuts and your 2 feet. So what we're going to do here, using a rubber mallet, do not use a regular hammer like I did, unless it's very, very light, which is mine's is very light. It came with this kit from Walmart. So what you'll do is you'll grab the bottom nut and ever so lightly just hammer it in, and then what you'll do is grab your feet and just screw it on. And you will want to do this to your 2 bottom side panels. So you will do it for a total of 4. So 2 on each panel and then 2 on the other panel. Again, these are your side bottom panels. So after you are done that, we can go on to step 6, which is attaching our bottom shelves to each set of side panels. So again, you want to make sure that your finished edges are on one side and your raw edges are on the other, because this will be your front. You don't want to do double work. You want to work smarter. For here, you will be using your flat screwdriver. So what you're going to do here, my son was passing by, so I grabbed him immediately so that he could hold up these sides while we put the shelf. So what we did here, using a screwdriver, we tightened all the cam locks after putting the shelf in those posts. So on the bottom of that shelf are those locks, and you'll want to use that flat screwdriver and make sure that they're all screwed. And just a suggestion, here on the manual it says to do this step 6. Go right after this, do it to go to step 7 and put your top. Put it on right away. Do not do this to each base like it says here, because what I found is when I let it go a little bit, I thought I had it up on the wall, but even that didn't help, and it bent a little bit, and I do have a little crack. So that way, to prevent that from happening to you, make sure you put the shelf and then put the top right away. Don't do it like the booklet says, to do it to both top and the bottom units. So I have finished my bottom base, and now I'm on to my top unit. So that's what I'm doing here. So the next step is attaching these gussets to each corners of the units. Pretty much what they are, they're just little triangles. You want to make sure that they're not perforated enough, grab some scissors and cut through them. There was a piece where I kind of was trying to rip it, and I thought I was doing it carefully, but I guess I didn't, and it kind of ripped the white off of it. So don't do that. I went ahead and put it on the bottom of my base unit so you can't see it, but if you can't get it off, just get some scissors in there and cut them so that they can be perfectly. And then it comes with little nails. There's like 40 nails in the little packet. Take those out, and what you're gonna do, using your hammer, you're gonna turn over the unit like I did and just nail all those 5 little nails onto each corner, each triangle, until you're done with all 8 of them. So each panel will have 4, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. So moving on to step 9, this is attaching your base unit to your wall. And before you begin this, you want to use a level and adjust any leveling on the feet. So if you see that your feet are a little bit uneven once you put the level on the top, just go ahead and fix that, unscrew or screw a little bit if you have to. So for step 9, you will need 2 of your L brackets, 2 of the anchors, 2 of the wasp screws, and 2 of the number 10 by 1/2 inch screws, which is the one with the little flathead, which is the itty bitty flathead. What I went ahead and did, I kind of saw where I wanted to place my husband's closet, and I wanted the unit in the center. So here what I did, I just went ahead and measured evenly on both sides, made sure that it was on right in the center. So placing the L bracket inside the unit right below where the little corner meets is where I wanted it to be, just so that it would be easier for me. I just went ahead and did it right at that little corner. I marked a hole in the location on the wall, and then so you can see here I'm using the bracket, and just with a pencil I'm making holes, and I just went ahead and circled all 3 of them just so that I would not get myself mixed up. So I went ahead and did this on both sides. And here, if you get a little bit of pencil, you can just erase it the way that I am. There's not a big deal if it doesn't come off. Just try to rub it with your finger. It does come off eventually. So here's where I had to take out my husband's impact drill and also just the regular drill. I like to use the impact drill, especially with things like this, just because it has a little bit more torque. But the this closet called for a 1/16 bit. So here you can see I'm finding the bit. So once you find your bit, you go ahead and where you have marked your hole, go ahead and make a hole. If you're drilling into a stud, that's perfect, but for where I had to go ahead and use the anchors. So I'm just putting in the bit here, and I'm just going to drill the hole just a little bit, and just enough so I can hammer my anchors in. That's it. Once you get the holes on, you go ahead and put your anchor, just hammer it in there, make sure it's nice and in there, just like that, and go ahead and do it on the other side where you marked the left side. So once you've done that, go ahead and put your unit up against the wall, and use the bigger screw that came with it, the pan screw, and go ahead and put it in there. Drill that one in there, and then the little tiny one, that one is the one that's going to go towards the side. So you can see that this unit is not going anywhere once you use your anchors properly. I see some people that don't use them, and that's really bad. Not only is it being lazy, second of all, or first of all, it's such a bad safety hazard for your children, for you. Once you put weight on these units, they can easily fall. So take the time to make sure that you're doing it properly. Here, I just went ahead and used my drill bit just to make sure that that hole was right in there. That way when I put my dowel, everything is nice. You can see here that was part of the next step, putting those dowels and then placing your top unit on top of the bottom one. So there you go. This is what it looks like. Now what I'm going to do is put the L brackets on these top two. And here you can see how it looks when it's all done and put in there. And here I am just dusting all this dust from the drilling. So this is what it looks like after you have put your two L brackets on the top unit. It looks really good now. I can see it. It's pretty much done. You have finished your closet now, and just go ahead and dust it. If you want, you don't have to wipe it down yet because you might get a little bit more dust. But now moving on to the rods. I know that the rods can seem a little bit intimidating, but don't let that intimidate you. Here you can see I have placed the little square piece where your rod will hook into, and it's fairly easy. I have placed mine where it's 10 inches from the back and 2 inches below the top lip line. So you go ahead and place it. Make sure that you measure your hangers. I have done my side, so I already know that this measurement works for me. I like it where my hangers are not hitting the wall. So you can put it a little bit far out, but I don't want my clothes too far out either. So for me, this is perfect. And on the little square where the rod will hook into, it has right above it, right in the middle, it has like a little arrow, and that little arrow is going to be right in the middle. So that's where you will put it, and then just using a level, go ahead and put it on there, mark your holes, and that's it. That's where you will put your screws and just screw it in there. And like I said, make sure you're using the level. Last thing you want it is to be crooked or wonky, but that's it. So here I'm just grabbing the little, they're like these little lips that came with them, like little cover-ups, hole cover-ups that came with the kit, and all I'm doing is the bigger holes that are on the bottom of each unit, I'm going ahead and just covering them up. So there you are, just covering them up just so they can look good, and wiping anything down, dust anything off. And here I know you can see my baseboard. Another thing I took out the baseboard, or my husband took out the baseboard before we started this project, because you want this unit to be right up against the wall. You can see there, it's right up against the wall, and that's how it should be. And then you can put your baseboard, install it afterwards. But moving on, what I'm doing here, I ordered this valet rod for my husband, and I am just installing it. Just mark it where the end of the bar is flush to the edge, and you put the level on there, mark the holes, and again, just using my my husband's impact drill, I am using the screws that came with it. Make sure you use the screws that came with it, because if not, you don't want to get some that are too long and then they're going to go onto the other side. And then you just pull it out one time, push it back in, and that's it. There's the ballet rod. Whenever he wants to get an outfit or is thinking about what he's going to wear the next day, he can just pull that out and then put it in there. And then I will be installing a tie rod, like a little thing for his ties, and you'll see it in the video at the end. Finishing off, my husband came home and I'm having him cut these rods down for me so that I am able to go ahead and finish it up. We are reaching the finish line, and you can see there he's just helping me put those in there. You do have to cut it right here. I believe this is just like an oscillating multi-tool that he uses just to cut a little bit of everything, baseboard, whatnot. So now for the after, I wanted to show you guys how beautiful everything came out. Everything looks so organized in its place. I'm so happy with everything, how it came out. It looks very beautiful. My husband loves it. Now he can get ready and it's just more functional for him. And this drawer here can be purchased separately. I went ahead and purchased that also, and my husband installed it. Here on this side, on the top right, I went ahead and put all his coats, his jackets, and his nice dressy shirts. On top are some memorabilia that I put up there in those boxes that I got from TJ Maxx. There is a signed baseball that I put up there, some shoes, some clothes, and this little section here I wanted to show you. The little tray on the right I got from the Dollar Tree, and you can see I tried to make it as manly as I could, so I got this little watch. I thought it looked very antique, and I like that for a man. I've always liked old watches and things like that, so I thought it was perfect. And just some handkerchiefs and deodorant and cologne. And this box here, it's called a valet box, and what it does, it just essentially it keeps all a man's things. They have them for women, of course, but or a jewelry box, but I will leave the description and below, the link in the description. Here is a valet rod that I was installing, and I put my husband necklace that he wears. And down here are just some socks and underwears in the drawer, and then more shoes. You can see some sneakers and then some dressy shoes that he wears often. And then moving on to the left top are just everyday things that he wears, some shorts. And then down at the bottom are some jackets and some work shirts. Here, if you remember me telling you about the belt and tie organizer, I went ahead and put that. You can see how beautiful the ties look on there, very organized. And then to the left of that, I went ahead and added a mirror. The mirror, I got it from Walmart, and I like the frame of it because it looks like wood, and I like that. And it was very inexpensive. I think it was the cheapest that I found, which was Walmart. I looked all over for one, and this is the one that I liked. I like the way it went with the stool, and you can see the stool. I got a little stool for him so that he can put his shoes on, off, socks on, off, whatnot. And I really like the way everything came out. I'm really happy. You can see that it's a little bit masculine with the stripes. I will say that I did take my time. I took everything off the walls, you guys, and just a suggestion. I do see people just kind of put closets, and however, take the time to really prep. Make sure anything that needs to be off the wall, take it off, cover holes. If you need to spackle, use some spackle. It's not hard, and you need to cover them up, you know, sand them a little bit, whatever you have to do, paint it, make it look nice. So the only thing left is once I'm doing my baseboard in this house, in this side of the house, I will go back and do the baseboard. But other than that, I am so happy at how it came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, or not tutorial, but this video. And I hope to see you in my next video. If you're new to my channel, thank you for coming along, and I hope you join my YouTube family. Bye.